Response from the Iranians by 8 o'clock tonight.
The U.S. strikes critical Iranian sites ahead of tonight's 8 p.m. deadline for them to make a deal.
Plus,
Houston copies. We'll see you on the other side.
The Artemis II crew has rounded the moon and is heading back to Earth. More about their historic mission.
And in sports, Ohio baseball and softball face midweek competition. Newswatch starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Serenity Prophet.
And I'm Charlie Ehlenfeld. Welcome to Newswatch. In Athens, a trip to work often starts on the sidewalks or paths instead of the road. Nearly 1 in 3 Athens residents walk to their jobs, a number far higher than the rest of the state.
Reporter Donovan Varney joins us live from Athens Bike Path with more.
Yeah, Charlie and Serenity, I'm at the bike path off of East State Street, and I'm here all the time getting my runs in, getting ready for the Athens Half Marathon. But people don't only use this to bike or exercise, they're on it every day to get to and from work. The U.S. Census Bureau reported that over 30% of Athens residents walk to work. That number is over 28% higher than the state average, and paths like this make it easy to see why.
On any given morning in Athens, the busiest traffic isn't on the roads, it's on the sidewalks. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, nearly 1 in every 3 people living in Athens walk to work. A number Rob Delich with the Athens Pedestrian Accessibility and Bicycle Task Force says is extraordinarily high.
Those numbers I mentioned, we're third in the country, and those other 2 towns that are ahead of us are also college towns, a little bigger than we are actually.
The other 2 towns are home to Penn State and Cornell University. The task force recently presented that census information to city leaders as part of their annual report. Delich says that Athens is so walkable because it was built with good bones.
It was built for people to walk and for horses, right? So there weren't cars, there weren't mechanical ways to get around, there weren't even bicycles back when it was originally built.
Kate Hayes is a student in Athens, and she walks to work every day.
I don't have to worry about getting my car towed or paying a parking ticket or also just paying for parking. Plus, it's nice to just be able to be outdoors and, get some exercise in the morning.
Delich says a walkable city has health and economic benefits.
So having a place like this where people can drive here, people can take transit to get here, people can walk and bike to get here, there's many more people that can get to this area, and there's more foot traffic.
When all walking in Athens is considered, it represents about 50% of daily trips in the city. In a place where half the trips happen on foot, it's clear the sidewalks are just as important as the streets.
Delich says the Pedestrian Accessibility and Bicycle Task Force will continue to urge city leaders to make Athens walkability a priority. Reporting for Newswatch, I'm Donovan Varney, live in Athens.
Thanks, Donovan. Well, those walkers encountered some chillier temperatures this morning.
But are they sticking around? Let's turn it over to Tyler Zyro to find out.
Definitely colder temperatures in the Athens area today. We saw things in the mid-upper 40s for most of us. Currently, we're sitting in the upper 40s. Most of us didn't even break that 50-degree marker today. Compared to yesterday, temperatures in the 60s, definitely feeling much cooler, much more like winter-like today, not spring, not seasonable for the beginning of April. As we were looking at our radar and satellite, though, we saw things clear today. No rain, no clouds, that sunshine making things feel a little bit better, a little bit warmer outside. But as we head into this evening, temperature's going to continue to cool off. We're seeing things down into the mid-20s. We're going to be dropping well below that freezing threshold. So if you have any plans this evening, make sure you're grabbing that coat. It's going to be chilly tonight, and as we wake up early tomorrow morning, we might even be seeing a possibility of some frost on the grass tomorrow morning, with those things being below freezing. And as we head into tomorrow, though, we're switching our temperatures from cold, and we're back to warm as we head to the upper 70s. But these warm temperatures trend into the weekend. Stick around to see what that looks like.
Thanks, Tyler. An Athens County Commissioner and the Executive Director of Athens County Job and Family Services have been indicted by a grand jury on felony charges related to allegations of theft in office. Jean Demosky, the Job and Family Services Director, was indicted on 7 felony counts stemming from her use of a nonprofit organization to raise money and provide services intended for low-income families. The indictment alleges that after a whistleblower raised concerns, Demosky and Athens County Commissioner Charlie Atkins interrogated JFS employees to find out who wrote the letter. Atkins was indicted on 1 felony charge of intimidation. No warrant was issued for his arrest, but Adkins was ordered to appear in Athens County Court of Common Pleas on April 15th for his arraignment. Demoski was arrested Friday morning and arraigned that afternoon. She was then released on her own recognizance. Athens passes an ordinance to repair the North Hill water breaks. This allows the city to begin analyzing and correcting the recurring breaks on Columbia Avenue. The breaks occurred once last summer and repeatedly toward the end of 2025. The project appropriated $250,000 for the city to contract the work and improve its maintenance, an increase from the previously allotted $200,000 when the ordinance was initially drafted.
Governor Mike DeWine and the Ohio EPA have announced $65 million in settlement funds from the state's lawsuit against DuPont can now be distributed. Payments were delayed until this year because of legal appeal. The funding will support drinking water infrastructure projects in Belmont, Lawrence, Meg, Gallia, Washington, and Morgan counties. That will include treatment systems to remove PFAS chemicals linked to serious health conditions from public water systems. Ohio was the first state to sue DuPont for its use of PFAS in manufacturing. The Artemis II astronauts are now on their way back home after their historic record-breaking lunar flyby. Reed Binion reports.
Your mission paves the way for America's return to the lunar surface very soon.
President Donald Trump speaking with the Artemis II crew on Monday. The president congratulating them and the entire team at NASA for an incredible historic mission.
You deserve that. You really are something. Everybody's talking about this. This is big. This is really big stuff.
The president also making clear this is just the beginning.
We'll plant our flag once again, and we'll establish a permanent presence on the moon, and we'll push on to Mars.
Day 6 of the Artemis II mission was record-breaking. The 4 astronauts traveled farther from Earth than anyone ever has. Their maximum distance of roughly 252,000 miles broke the 1970 record set by Apollo 13. The spacecraft also had one of the longest communications blackouts in human spaceflight history as it passed behind the moon.
Houston copies. We'll see you on the other side.
During that expected 40-minute comms blackout, the crew saw Earthrise, experienced a total solar eclipse, and got an unprecedented view of the moon's mysterious far side, observing features that have never been seen directly by human eyes.
The gravitational pull of the Earth has had a profound effect on the near side of the moon. It's very different on the far side. While you see some small patches of those Mare in deep craters, it's very much absent on that side.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Coming up, President Donald Trump takes to social media to threaten Iran ahead of tonight's deadline to make a deal.
And travel experts warn that rising fuel prices may impact summer travel.
Cool in Athens today, but as we head to the rest of the week and this weekend, we're warming up. Stick around to see how much.
The American Revolution is usually described as a heroic struggle taking place on American soil. But that's only half the story. There's an untold version, the British perspective. I'm reinvestigating one of the most explosive breakups in history. I'm going to re-examine the original evidence and ask if things could have been different.
Tonight at 9 on WOUB.
Every now and then, an essay continues to speak to people.
Henry David Thoreau wrote about the impact of industrialization on nature and society. He tried to live a simple and intentional existence.
I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately.
Thoreau says you can't even ask the deep questions if you don't stop to figure out what the deep questions are.
Thanks to viewers like you, we've been able to tell America's stories on this PBS station. Help us continue to tell these stories now and for future generations by including this station in your charitable plans.
Supporting this PBS station through a gift of stock is easy. To find out more, call the number on your screen or visit this website. Thank you.
It's about to go down.
The wildlife just take over.
The age of discovery is now.
It's a journey like no other.
Everyone is getting involved in this.
you'll see a kaleidoscope of color. It's like magic.
My hands are shaking.
I think I just fell in love.
President Donald Trump saying, quote, a whole civilization will die tonight. The president makes the threat ahead of his imposed deadline of 8 p.m. Eastern Time for Iran to make a deal and open the Strait of Hormuz.
Amid negotiations overnight, the U.S. struck military targets Iran's strategic Karg Island, according to U.S. officials. Michael Yoshida has the latest.
President Donald Trump with a stark warning for Iran, writing, a whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will.
This could be a high-stakes negotiating tactic to try to get them to blink, but so far they haven't.
The threat made hours before the president's imposed 8 p.m. Eastern Time deadline for Iran to open the Strait of Hormuz and make a deal to end the war.
Whether it's positive or negative, we're going to get a response from the Iranians by 8 o'clock tonight. I hope they make the right response.
Overnight, U.S. strikes hit military targets on Iran's Karg Island, where almost all the country's oil is exported from, according to a U.S. official who added the strikes did not target oil facilities.
It's a very small place, but there's a significant amount of economic activity there, and that economic activity does in fact benefit the Iranian Revolutionary Guards and the Iranian military.
This video appearing to show a human chain forming around an Iranian power plant. Iranian state media says civilian infrastructure across the country, including railway lines and roads, have been attacked. Israel saying Tuesday its strikes are targeting railways and bridges in the country used by the military.
Going after the bridges and railroads and things like that it makes it more difficult for Russia or China to get overland support in.
In Washington, Michael Yoshida.
Well, excuse me, Tyler's back with the weather. And you mentioned earlier that temperatures are going to keep going up. We've had a lot of rain. It's going to be clear skies with that warmer weather.
As this warm weather brings in, we're going to be seeing some dry skies as we head for the rest of this week. There's a little bit of a chance as we head into Friday, but this weekend, looking to stay dry. It's looking to be a really nice weekend and some nice rest of the week because those temperatures are going to be warming up. But looking at today was a completely different story. We saw things down in the 40s. We didn't break the 50s for most of us compared to yesterday. We saw temperatures mid-60s, definitely more mild, definitely more seasonable before the beginning of April. But today, a little bit cooler, a little bit different, and as we continue into this evening, temperatures are going to continue to drop. We're seeing things heading down farther in below freezing, down into the mid-20s, and we're going to be seeing some clear skies tonight, and what that's going to do is allow that heat from the ground to escape out and cool our temperatures down a little bit further. And with that, if you have any plans tonight, make sure you're grabbing that coat. It's definitely going to be feeling cool outside, and tomorrow morning, if you're up early enough, there might be a potential to see some frost on the ground with temperatures being below that freezing mark overnight. Heading into tomorrow, though, we're rebounding with temperatures a little bit cooler today. We're rebounding back up into around that 70-degree mark for tomorrow, and with that, sunny skies, that sunshine going to be blaring down all day pretty much tomorrow, warming those temperatures up even more. Lows looking to be in the mid-40s, but comparing to today, that's where our highs were really. So it's going to be feeling much better tomorrow compared to what it was today. And what's happening with this is we're seeing a warm front pushing through our area, and it's bringing warm air, and it's going to be sticking around for a little bit. And as we look into later into the next couple days, we're going to be seeing a little bit of rain showers trying to impact our area a little bit. But what's going to happen is likely most of it is going to stay north of us and really not impact us that much. As we look for Wednesday is likely going to be staying dry. And then as we head into Thursday, though, we're seeing this develop to the west of us, and it's going to be pushing over into the Athens area. And there's the possibility for these rain showers to stick together as we head into Friday evening, possibly into Saturday morning. But it's not even 100% sure yet. It's still a little bit out, and those showers might even break up. So we're not even guaranteed to get any of that rain Friday. But if you have any plans for Friday evening, make sure you're paying attention to that because those showers are possible as we head into Friday evening. And then as we look at our 7-day forecast, though, we're seeing our temperatures tomorrow. We're back on the rise. We're out of the cool weather, the more winter-like weather, and we're heading back up into that 70 range as we head into tomorrow with those sunny skies, that sunshine warming things up. And then as we continue into Thursday, though, we're going to continue to see that rise. We're going to continue to see that warming up, that warm front pushing through, bringing more warm air. Instead of like northerly winds coming from Canada, we're shifting to the south, bringing warmer air, and more of that warm air is going to be impacting us by Thursday and Friday, with temperatures up in the 70s, high 70s by Friday. Little bit of a dip Saturday as we head down to the low 70s, but by Sunday, temperatures skyrocketing again, back up into the upper 80s. We are going to be feeling like summer again by Sunday, with partly sunny skies, that sunshine going to be feeling nice. As we continue into Monday, Tuesday, we're going to see that warm weather, those 80-degree temperatures stick around.
Thanks, Tyler. If you're planning your summer vacation, travel experts say you should book now before tickets get more expensive.
That's partially because of the rising fuel costs caused by the ongoing war in Iran. Jen Sullivan has advice for summer travelers and ways you can save.
Jet fuel prices are soaring, and summer travelers are being warned to brace for higher ticket prices.
If you are traveling this summer and you need to book a flight, book it immediately.
Going.com travel expert Katie Nastro says the sooner you book your trip, the more likely you'll get a good deal, especially now. That's because the war with Iran has caused a global disruption in oil production. Maritime traffic through the Strait of Hormuz has effectively halted. As of Monday, the average price of regular gas in the U.S. was $4.12 per gallon. Since the war broke out, gas prices have jumped more than 38%, according to AAA, and other types of fuel costs are rising for the same reason. And that could mean higher airfares for travelers.
Jet fuel is a large expense for airlines. It's roughly the second largest expense for them.
Jet fuel prices have doubled in the last 2 months. Fuel represents 20 to 30% of their overall costs, according to airlines' financial reports. And Nastro says it's risky for airlines to drastically increase prices.
If demand completely bottoms out, then they're going to have to soften their prices.
Here's a tip if you're looking to travel this fall. Nastro says if you book a main economy ticket now and prices drop later, most airlines will allow you to rebook at a lower cost. The difference will be used as a credit towards future travel with that airline. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
If you're in the market for a new house, you're all too familiar with high prices and low supplies.
Some states are now looking at ways to incentivize new home construction, even as some housing markets are running out of land. Ivan Rodriguez has the details on relief efforts from state and federal levels.
The issue of housing affordability and supply can vary drastically between housing markets across the country.
Particularly in the Sun Belt, there actually are plenty of homes for sale right now. And that's largely because there was a building boom in Sun Belt areas over the past few years. There was a lot of in-migration, a lot of job growth that spurred builders to build.
While housing supply in some states is positive, Jeff Ostrowski with Bankrate compares it to other areas where the picture is more complex.
In places like the Rust Belt and the Northeast, there's a shortage of homes for sale. There was not a lot of new construction in those areas over the past few years, and as a result, prices are still going up, and there's still a shortage of homes in those parts of the country.
Last month, the Senate passed a major housing reform bill. The measure seeks to encourage local governments to expand housing development, remove regulatory barriers that critics say slow construction, and expand manufactured housing, which can often be built faster and at lower cost than traditional homes. It remains to be seen if it can pass the House as is and comes after the House passed a similar, slimmer package. Some states are also crafting measures of their own.
The Florida legislature approved something called Live Local, and that gives apartment developers a lot of loopholes, a lot of leeway to build apartments, so long as some of those units are earmarked for affordable housing for people who make a bit less than the median income.
In Atlanta, I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
Next in sports, it's a busy day for Ohio's Diamond Sports as softball faces off against rival Miami and baseball goes to non-conference foe Morehead State. Newswatch will be back after the break, but until then, be sure to follow us on X, Instagram, and YouTube, and visit WOUB.org for all the latest news across Southeast Ohio.
PBS viewers believe that businesses that sponsor PBS on WOUB Public Television have a commitment to quality and excellence. Sponsoring a PBS television program offers your business a unique opportunity to connect with a highly engaged, loyal, and trustful audience in a clutter-free environment, leading to increased brand awareness, positive perception, and potential for higher customer engagement. Your sponsorship is important to the community, and the rewards come back to you in the form of loyal customers. Align your organization with America's most trusted news and public affairs network. WOUB Public Television is worthy of your trust. Contact Corporate Support Director Kathy Malesic at 740-593-4909 or online at woub.org/support.
Isn't that amazing, that noise?
Life on Earth. This is an almost sacred place.
Imagine the Earth in peril.
I think it's the end of the world.
Somebody punched a hole in the ozone layer. And an unlikely pair who teamed up to save the world.
How often do you get to do something that can actually affect the planet?
See how science and government united to avert catastrophe.
It is life itself that we must battle to preserve.
Ozone Hole, how we saved the planet.
Thursday at 10 on WOUB.
Welcome to sports. I'm Austin Yao. Both Ohio Diamond Sports are hitting the road today for some midweek games. Starting with softball, they traveled to Miami to face the Redhawks after last seeing them in the MAC championship game last year. It was looking bleak for the Bobcats as they went into the 7th inning down 2-0. They were on the ropes with 2 outs when the Bats came alive. Belle Hummel started off with an RBI double to tie the game, and she was brought in on a double by Colleen Bear. The rally continued with a Brenna Farmer double to score Bear. Shelby Wessler chipped in one more run on an RBI single that brought in Farmer to put Ohio up 5-2. Eve Diodon responded with an RBI double, but the Redhawks couldn't rally back and Ohio won 5-3. Hummel led the team with 2 RBIs that started off the rally, and Skip Miller had another strong outing on the mound, pitching the full game and getting 3 strikeouts. Now over to baseball. The Bobcats hit the road to play Morehead State in a non-conference matchup at 6 p.m. While the Bobcats sit at 6-24 and second to last in the MAC, Morehead State is hovering around 500 with a 15-16 record, putting them 6th in the Ohio Valley Conference. Both these teams have high ERAs, with the Bobcats at a 10.38 and the Eagles at an 8.97. The Eagles also hold an edge on the batting side, tallying up 259 runs so far this season, which is over 100 more than Ohio's 156 runs on the season. It should be a high-scoring affair in Kentucky, and fans will get to watch these teams face off again in Athens on May 6th. Well, let's head over to the Pro Diamond. It was a historic day yesterday in Cleveland. Third baseman Jose Ramirez became the Guardians' all-time leader in games played. He has played in 1,621 games, including today's. With this, he broke Terry Turner's 108-year-old record. After dropping the first game of the series against the Royals, they won the second game earlier today, 2-1. Carter Jensen put the Royals up 1-0 with a solo shot in the second. Stephen Kwan then tied it up with a single in the 5th inning before Brian Brocchio walked it off with a single that scored KJ Dreyfus. And through this game, Gavin Williams pitched 5 2/3 innings, allowing only 1 hit with 8 strikeouts. So the Guardians continue their hot start to the season and get some revenge for Ramirez. Over in the National League, the Reds are down in Miami to play the Marlins this week. They took Game 1 of the series yesterday in a 2-0 shutout win. Brandon Williamson tossed 6.2 scoreless innings, allowing only 3 hits while striking out 4. Sal Stewart hit an RBI single in the 4th that scored Ellie De La Cruz, and Tyler Stevenson added a solo home run in the 8th. The win keeps the Reds perfect on the road this season and puts their record at 7-3. The two play the second game of the series at 6:40 p.m. tonight. Andrew Abbott takes the mound for the Reds, and Sandy Alcantara gets the start for the Marlins. If you want to keep up with all Ohio sports news, follow at Bobcat Showcase on X, Instagram, Facebook, and for written content, be sure to check out woub.org.
Still ahead, March Madness has come to an end. Hear more about this year's champion. Newswatch will return after the break, but until then, here's a look at what's coming up on your public television station.
Bukele has agreed to accept U.S. detainees at El Salvador's mega prison.
The deal between El Salvador's leader and the American president,
I want to thank you for the great job you're doing. I appreciate it.
in collaboration with Alfaro, uncovering the connections between the Trump administration, President Nayib Bukele, and El Salvador's gangs.
Bukele nos ha vuelto a recordar que si vos sos popular, podés hacer lo que te dé la gana.
Tonight at 10 on WOUB.
The Electron Solar Farm.
Pentagon with executive orders.
Good evening. I'm Jeff Bennett.
And I'm Amna Nawaz.
I'm Margaret Hoover.
I'm Christiana Manpour in London.
Bring us up to speed there.
Israel is vowing serious consequences.
Did you get a commitment from President Trump?
We have to work on it. When that story is told, it will be easier for us to see each other like the people who came before us.
Today we live in a time when meaningful discourse is needed more than ever.
Is this just, at the end of the day, very smart politics?
It's, never compromise on the accuracy.
This is the story of modern war, how it's fought and how it's changing us.
If this is the way we're going to start breaking the ice, then let's do it.
I know you understand everything. You're just not gonna tell.
Para mí no son caballos, son mis compañeros.
Monday at 10 on WOUB.
President Donald Trump says that Iran has proposed a, quote, workable 10-point peace deal that could bring an end to the war. In a social media post, Trump pulled back on his threats, subject to Iran being ready for a 2-week ceasefire.
He added that they presented a basis on which to negotiate, saying that almost all previous points of past content have been agreed between the countries, but that a 2-week period will allow the agreement to be finalized.
The University of Michigan stands atop the men's college basketball universe. The Wolverines are national champions after their 69-63 win over the University of Connecticut Huskies on Monday night in Indianapolis. Michigan led 33-29 at the half and outscored UConn by 2 in the second half. This is the team's second championship in men's college basketball to go along with the program's 1989 crown. The victory was also the first for the Big Ten Conference since Michigan State in 2000. The UConn Huskies were denied the chance to win a third championship in 4 seasons. Well, moving out of March and into April, but are we looking at any April showers coming up tonight?
Tonight, no showers tonight. We're looking at cold temperatures, though. We are shifting even cooler than it was today. It was pretty chilly today, but we're shifting even cooler, below that freezing mark, down into the mid-20s tonight. We're seeing clear skies. That's going to allow that heat to move out, making things even cooler this evening. And as we move into tomorrow, though, we're shifting. We're warming back up. We're seeing things likely going to be around that 70-degree mark tomorrow. Sunny skies, that sun going to be shining through, warming things up even more. Going to be feeling more like summer, spring tomorrow rather than like it was today. But temperatures overnight looking to be in the mid-40s tomorrow. And as we look at what's driving these warm temperatures, we're seeing a warm front push through our area, and that's going to be shifting our weather to be shifting upward and into warmer temperatures. So as we look at the 7-day, we're looking at 80s as we head into Sunday, and 80s for the beginning of next week as well.
That does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching.
Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. Have a great night.